All right, folks, welcome back. It's my Monday, it's my day off, so I'm gonna try and get as much of this bike done as possible. I've been waiting on some bushings to come in. I ordered them like through Amazon or eBay or whatever, and guy sent me a deal, said, hey, we're out of stock of those. So I had to hunt and find another source, so it's been taking me forever to find them. But let me give you a little walk around and show you what where we're at on everything. These were the bushings that I've been waiting on to get in. I thought the ones that Go Power Sports carries for the neck bushings, you know, that go in your neck, that come in the kit, thought those would work. So I was just gonna get some from them, but it did not. So I had to find a different source for them. But I wanted bushings to put right in this top hole. I got to cut these down and machine them a little bit because I wanted a bushing in here for my top shock mount bolt. So I got a lot to do today. I got to get figure out where everything is going to go on the bike up here, where I'm going to get my shock taps welded on the bottom. This is just a mock-up motor I threw in it. I did get the rear fender tab. This was actually up higher. Let's see, I think it was, they put it way up here so you can mount your gas tank and whatever, but I wanted my fender really, really low to the tire. So I actually cut it off from up here, different angle, flipped it down that way, use our same bracket, and same thing on the front. The piece, this was this bracket, let's see if I can lay it out for you. This is the bracket that actually holds the factory seat down that they put in the top of the frame. So I cut it out and punch some holes in it, and this is going to go for my front fender. So trying to reuse all the factory stuff that they put on it. I'm just relocating it. And let's see what we got going over here. These had the big old hole in the center and then two small holes, so I got those all welded. I got a little filler in it. It's pretty dry, so I'm going to try and get these sanded down and in primer today. I still haven't decided what length bars I'm going because Go Power Sports has different options on the bars. So I'm going to wait till I get it all mocked up, actually get the seat and stuff done. That way I can sit on the bike and see what bars are the height that I want to go with. So I got to get that stuff done today. Let's show you what I did to the motor in the meantime. The other day I had it ripped apart. Let's see if we can get this bag off of it. I can try and keep all the dust and dirt off of it. I went ahead and so I throw a little paint on the block. I went ahead and got rid of the governor stuff that was on it just to get it cleaned up because I'm going to put the Go Power Sports top plate on it. So I like it looking nice and clean without a bunch of stuff in the way. So I went ahead and got rid of the governor arm. Didn't really need it. So I went ahead and put some, I like the cast iron gray look. Looks pretty good. So I went ahead and painted the block. Let's see. I got the fan shroud and the starter assembly. Got it taken apart and got it all stripped down and got it in primer. I like to use the Rust-Oleum self-etching primer. So got that primed, and I guess the rest of the blower housing shield that deflects the air across the head. I think I'm going to powder coat that. Then after I got to thinking I might end up powder coating that. I don't know yet. So once it starts coming together, I'll figure it out. But I got a bunch to do today to get this thing going. So I'm gonna try and get as much done. I like to have the frame and primer today. So I'm gonna quit yapping and start busting some knuckles and see if we can't get some of this thing knocked out today. All right, there we go. I got them sanded down and blocked down to my liking anyway. So next, what I'm going to do before I get them prepped and ready for paint, I'm going to get my holes drilled in them where the fenders go. That way I ain't got to worry about scratching them up later and drilling the holes later. Go ahead and do all that now. Get them wiped down with some lacquer thinner. Start shaking some self-etching primer, and I can get these hung up and get them primed, and that part will be done for today. All right, so while I was getting the paint and primer and stuff done, I didn't film a lot of this because I spent a lot of my time sitting there scratching my head figuring out how I was going to make this work. So I didn't want to bore y'all with all that nonsense. But so I got it at the part where it's all mocked up. Think I got everything where it's going to jive good. So I'll give you a sneak peek of it. Then I'm probably going to break it down, finish welding everything up. Hopefully I can try and get the frame cleaned up, get all my welds cleaned up, get it clean because I got a little surface rust on it just from the humidity in this Texas weather. So anyway, let's take a look at it and show you what I got going on. So we can zoom in here. These are all the little angle brackets, or little gusset brackets you can order from Go Power Sports. And I try to use as many of them as I could in this project just to show you different things you can use them for. So here's some I cut. I left pretty much here, and then I cut the back one off, and it's welded to the seat. This is one of the real big long ones that would usually come down. It's a big L bracket. I think it's like they're 3.5 inch. But anyway, let's see if we can get a better deal of it over here. So this is what I was waiting for my bushings for, is the big hole that's in their bracket was a little bit too big for the eyelet bulb I was using the shock. So I wanted to put a bushing in there. And plus, if it ever gets wore out, instead of wearing out the tab and the shock and the bracket, I can just put a new insert bushing in it and go on down the road. And at the bottom, so I'm going to tilt this back a little bit. There we go. These are the small ones that they carry. I guess they're about a 2-inch angle gusset bracket. So anyway, I basically took the shock off, got my measurement inside here because I didn't want to get weld splatter all over the chrome shock. So I figured out my distance, and I just put nuts and bolts and bolted these two together, stuck it where I wanted it, and then make sure I got everything level on top and bottom. These actually up here, I'll probably end up putting some spacers in between them because I didn't want the shocks all goofy-fied. But anyway, I think it turned out looking pretty good. I don't know if anybody else is going to have a Rascal with a suspension seat, a little old school on a new school style frame, but I think it'll jive out pretty good. So I'm going to get the fenders on it. I got the bracket welded in there for that. I did go ahead and get the front forks, the tab bracket for the front fork welded in, and I got it cleaned and prepped and already threw some primer on it. Trying to use all my daylight that I possibly can. So anyway, just want to give you all a sneak peek of where we're at on this part of it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm kind of happy with everything. Everything seems to jive clear, so I'm going to go ahead and get all of them welded up, get everything cleaned up, and hopefully throw this thing in some primer. So that's what's been taking a majority of my time, is scratching my head, figuring out, man, how's this going to work and make it look good. But anyway, I think it turned out pretty sharp. All right, back to welding. All right, folks. Well, I got it all pretty much cleaned up. I need to go over a few more spots with some hand sandpaper. But I was going to show you what I normally use when I clean the welds. This is just a 4.5 inch angle grinder with a floppy disc on it, which probably everybody's got one. Get you a grinder at Harbor Freight or wherever. In the small spots, this is an air, and this is like a little small floppy disc also. And a lot of times I call these cookies. I'm not sure what they're actually called. They're 3M. I know they're made by 3M because it says 3M on it. These just are a cam lock. They go on there. But this comes in, these little floppy discs you can get. I think I get these at Harbor Freight also. They come in real good for getting any of your weld spots that are like, in real tight corners. But anyway, when you get one of these frames from Go Power Sports, they're bare metal. So your best bet to do is wipe it down as soon as you get it and get your paint on it. But I was waiting for a while, so it got, little surface rust on it because I was waiting on bushings and other stuff to get in so I could finish up on it. But I found a really cool deal. I have no idea what it's actually called. I just chucked this up in the drill. I did pick this up at Walmart, and it was in the automotive section. And I also think it was either a Scott's brand or 3M was on the package. I took the package, threw it away a while back, threw it in the toolbox, and I thought, and I seen it, and I was like, man, I'm going to try this thing. And obviously it's for automotive. I don't know if it's for stripping paint or what, but man, this is to clean the welds and stuff. I just wanted to go over a little bit because they're, you know, the welds are already pretty good on the bike. But I went over them with this jewel, and man, this is like the bee's knees. So if you're stripping a bike, I haven't tried it on stripping paint with it, but it's kind of like a Scotch-Brite pad type material with glue on it or something. I don't know. Like I said, I threw the paper away, but man, that is definitely cool. So if y'all are stripping a bike or getting a, you know, old rusty frame, go to Wally World and pick you up on these jewels. It was very inexpensive, but man, I wish I'd have found that thing out a long time ago because it works good. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit more hand sanding on it. I'll get it wiped down with lacquer thinner and get some primer on this baby. All right, fellas, let me show you what we got going on tonight. I'm gonna get the powder coating done on some of the small parts and pieces for the Rascal. I got the fenders primed, got the front forks primed, the frames primed, the bars. So while all that's doing its magic, getting all cured, I'm gonna show you what I do to do some Oshkosh powder coating. Ain't nothing fancy, but I'll show you what I got here. This is what I'm working with. This, I do believe, this was given to me by a coworker. They powder coated, I think, some tumblers and some other stuff, and kind of didn't really use it and said, hey, you want to try it out? So I was like, cool. I ain't never powder coated anything before. Usually I had it outsourced, somebody else to do it. But I do believe this is a Harbor Freight powder gun. So it's nothing fancy. You know, you got your ground clip deal here that you'll clip it. I'll show you how I set it up. It's kind of crazy. This is your foot activate pedal. Then you hook your air line up to it. I got a little gauge on it, and depending on what powder you use, usually it tells you temperature and kind of what volume to spray at. Got the cup to put the powder in. I do use a fellow that does my frames for me because he's got a big oven. Says use prismatic powders, I think is how you pronounce that. Anyway, and I can tell you that there's how your powder job turns out is depends on what kind of powder you use, because I had some black and it just turned out really not to my liking. So I ordered some from Prismatic Powders. I have the box over there, I think. So I used their jet black and cooked it like they said. I think it was 20 minutes for 380 degrees, whatever. But it turned out immaculate. I did that on the Motovox. But anyway, some of the parts, we're going to try silver. This is what it's supposed to look like, if you can kind of see that. It's not chrome, it's whatever it said on the tag. Let's see. Yeah, just says silver. So we got to bake this at 15 minutes at 380 degrees. So we're going to try this. I'm going to try it on one piece first. If it turns out good, I'm going to do the clutch cover, get the valve cover done, the bottom heat shield for the engine, the little backing plate that goes on the back of the fan shroud. Got some risers to do, some wheel spacers, the brackets for my tank. I'm going to try it on the kickstand. I knocked all the bearings and the crush sleeve that goes inside here. I took all those out because I don't think it's a good idea to powder coat the bearings. Pull starter, got that done. So what I'll do is I'll get everything cleaned up with the Scotch-Brite pad. Then I'll wipe it down with lacquer thinner, let it dry really good. But kind of show you what I do. I got my air hose here. And then basically I'll hang everything right here, and this is, I do it outside the shop, so I got to deal with all the dust. But I'll hang everything off the rod. I got a bunch of little coat hangers, so I'll coat it here and very carefully bring it over to the oven. So let me show you where the oven is. Nothing fancy, so I'm kind of limited on what I can do. But this is just a regular Black & Decker oven, which I got it standing on its side. And I got up in top here, I made sure I didn't hit any wires, but I got some little loops that are little eyelet hooks that I'll hang my wires from and stick it inside there. Oh, let's see, here's the box. Prismatic, or how you pronounce that, powders. But anyway, that's the powder coat that I use. Anyway, I'm gonna get everything cleaned up and get it prepped, and we're gonna spray some powder and make some stuff shiny. All right, let's see if I can walk you through. Let's go ahead and do this part right here. I got it all sanded down and prepped or whatnot with lacquer thinner. I'll make sure and let it dry. Actually, I threw it in the oven for just like 30 seconds, make sure it was good and warm. And make sure, remember, I try not to touch anything after I get it on there, but anything you don't want powder on, like where the screw goes and where your starter assembly slides on the inside here, I went ahead and taped it. There's supposed to be a special kind of tape you're supposed to use. I've been using masking tape, and it seems to do pretty good. So do your research. I've been using masking tape, but it works. I got me a bunch of little different size coat hangers bent. So I'm gonna try and get this sprayed for you. Got everything set up. My power supply is already on. There's your foot pedal. And this is my little makeshift deal. Kind of keeps it from blowing all over the place. And I usually take me a pair of needle nose. And that way I can grab it with a pair of needle nose off the deal if I got to move it around, and I can take this and we'll transfer it to the oven. So let's see if I can get this on here without giving y'all a headache trying to move 15 different directions. All right, power's on. You just kick down here at your foot pedal, stomp that, and you make sure you don't get this close, because I have found out when you're activating the foot pedal and you get this too close, you get a real nice electric charge through the deal. But like I said, I'm not no professional, but here we go. Let's turn the air up a little bit. See how this turns out. Alright, flip it around, get the back side. So some of y'all probably done this before. Y'all can sit here and tell me all the things I'm doing wrong. Have no problem with it. Because like I said, I've never done it before. I did it on the other bike. I take that back. Didn't do it before, but definitely no professional. So let's take a gander at it. It's getting kind of dark outside. I think I got it covered pretty good. Let's see. We could use a little bit more right there on the bottom. See if we can hang it upside down like this. All right, we get that little bit right there, and we'll throw it in the oven and cook it. All right. And walk it, throw it in the oven. It's supposed to be for man, I got my hook upside down. Dang it. I should have left it like it was. We'll just try it like it is. Ease this in here. Try not to bump nothing or drop it. Alright, got that right there. Set her about 15 minutes. All right, we'll come back when fries are done. All right, so the dinger just went off, so let's go take a look at it. Ooh, sweet baby Jesus, that's hot. All right, the door. Bam. All right, let's get it over here in the light where we can see what's crappening with it. We'll just lay it right here. Look at that. Not too shabby. Got kind of like a little orange peel to it, kind of, sort of. I don't know, maybe in some spots, maybe because I didn't lay it down right. So if y'all know what I'm doing wrong or doing right, hey, leave me a comment. Like I said, I've only done this a few times on some parts for the Motovox or whatever. But anyway, I got some risers due. I'm good, and I got the kickstand deal sanded down, my tank brackets, and a few more parts. So I'm gonna turn this thing off, see if I can get everything else done before it gets too late.